Pac-12 games get more challenging. There's more chips on the table. It's all or nothing.
We know what's at stake. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
We're going to get everybody's best shot, and our goal is to give everyone our best shot.
Being a top 10 ranked opponent would be huge for us.
At the end of the day, you can throw rankings, you can throw the records out the window. It's going to be a dogfight.
In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I think that's what we're going to do on Saturday.
Today in the City of Angels. I didn't know it rained in LA, but weird things are happening that haven't happened in a while because it's been 23 years since Game Day has been out here. That's older than a lot of the people that are playing today. It's a good one. Number 10 Oregon is in town, and they are going to try to make their case for the CFP, but they have to go through Chip Kelly and the UCLA Bruins, who are going to try to mess that all up for both Oregon and the entire Pac-12. I don't know if they know that that's how it works. Anyways, welcome to Countdown to College Game Day. Christine Williamson and Harry Lyles Jr. holding it down on this Saturday morning. What time is it? It's very early in the morning on the West Coast. It's like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
We woke up bright and early. All of these people got here at like 2 a.m.
This is great.
They're lit. They're lit. LA is a great place to be. I would like to call Harry Lyles out, though, because he likes to go out to eat without his co-host.
I don't want to hear none of that.
Like really good places. It's rude.
I don't want to hear none of that because here's the thing. Some of you know that
I
don't want to hear that though. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm just going to skip all that. I'm not even going to try to explain myself because I don't have to.
Harry went to a very good shrimp place, posted on Instagram, told us he was going there, and didn't invite anybody. So he's not a real one. Anyways,
y'all mama didn't tell you that you should want to be at places that you ain't invited to, did she?
Anyways, we like to start every single show off with something called The Top, and I'm going to let my friend here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Kenny Pickett against this Clemson defense. Kenny Pickett, good for him being in his 10th year at Pitt, right? I mean, he's been there forever. He's got his completion percentage up to 70%. Like, he's balling out. Honestly, should be a Heisman candidate. But this Clemson defense is like murky as their season has been. Clemson defense is no joke. Their pass rush is legit. They've got lockdown corners. This one is going to be a great, great game. Like, honestly, I think that this game kind of determines who one of the best teams in the ACC is. Obviously, still got to give credit to Wake Forest. That's what I'm looking forward to most today.
Obviously, I mean, Brent Venables is still in Clemson. That Clemson defense is still very strong. And going into the season, and we're going to go into my thing that I'm most excited about. Going into the season, I bet nobody, especially myself, was expecting Clemson to be as not good as they are on offense, but the defense is still strong. However, the ACC, because of Clemson's this year, they're unranked, is absolutely wide open. You mentioned Pitt, Kenny Pickett. I want to talk about the fact that you said NC State. NC State and Wake Forest are both undefeated this season. And the fact that the ACC looks like it does, we usually like to talk about how the Coastal is wide open, the whole entire conference. Who knows who's going to win it? I do not think that an ACC team is going to be in the CFP because of how all over the place it is, but
who's not in it?
Anyways, I don't know what you're about to say. Listen, the ACC is still wide open. Anything could happen.
Not anything.
Anything could happen.
I don't know about anything.
Listen, my teams aren't that great this year, and it's fine. You can't be great 100% of the time.
No, and I think based on their win percentage, Miami, I think, is only great like 40% of the time.
Me and Harry are not getting along today. It's perfectly fine. Another thing that we like to do is called Three Big Things, where we talk about 3 big things that happen in college football. And we start with the Battle of the Bones. Okay, so with the news that UAB and 5 other schools will be joining the American Conference on Thursday, UAB took the opportunity to tweet out this picture of the Battle of the Bones trophy. It's a bronze slab of ribs. So the trophy goes to the winner of UAB versus Memphis, and it hasn't been played since 2012 when UAB and Memphis last played. I mean, what do you think about this trophy?
I mean, I think we got to give this thing like a better name.
Where does it rank?
It's up there. It's definitely up there. I mean, like, can we like rename this? It's not a cup, but can we like call this like the itis cup? Just because you know ribs, you eat ribs, you get the itis. Like, it's got to be something.
I guess you do.
You know what I'm saying?
Are those beef ribs or pork ribs?
I like to think they'd be beef.
Because they're pretty big.
Yeah. Right?
Okay,
that's how
makes
that
sense.
works, right? I'm not sure how that works.
I mean, yeah, cows are bigger than pigs.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
It could be a small cow.
What?
It could be a small cow.
Yeah, but they're big ribs.
I really think.
But yeah, but a smaller cow could have smaller ribs.
Dial some things up that he hasn't shown.
I don't know what that means. Okay, so
Argue with my logic.
it's Manning Day at Ole Miss. So Ole Miss will be honoring and retiring Eli Manning's number 10 jersey this weekend. And as a part of that, he will have both end zones painted with Manning in the end zone. So coincidentally, they will also be hosting the hyped 2023 five-star recruit, Arch Manning. I mean, obviously, that's his, what is it, his nephew? It's his brother's son. Yeah, that's his nephew. So Peyton and Eli's brothers, yeah, I'm like not understanding how families work. And the grandson of Archie Manning, Cooper, Eli, and Archie all attended Ole Miss. Is the family legacy a pro or con for Arch? I feel like that's a lot of pressure.
Okay, so this works in a few different ways, right? It is bad if Arch ends up being booty. Like, if he's not good, then that's tough, right? That stinks. However, the one thing that he does have going for him is he's not like Peyton Jr., he's not Cooper Jr., he's not Eli Jr. I mean, he might be like, is Arch like his middle name? I know, like, you know, the grandfather, Archie.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, like,
it's tough.
It helps him in the sense that, like, hey, you know, if I'm playing quarterback and I need advice, like, oh, who can I go to? Oh, Peyton Manning. Oh, Eli Manning. Like, that's pretty good.
But I feel like that's tough. Like, I always get weary for like children and people that are related, people that are absolute legends, goats, because I always just wish they played like another sport.
Yeah, I would say this. I would prefer to be Arch Manning as opposed to like LeBron James Jr. So there's just no escaping that, right?
Yeah, but LeBron James Jr. is pretty hyped.
I mean, yeah, but Arch is probably better in his respective sport than Bronny is.
Yeah, especially compared to his dad.
And then so like when Bronny's done playing basketball and he doesn't end up being better than his father, people are going to be like, oh, hey,
that's true.
Tough,
you
right?
Suck. All right, let's talk about the Oregon uniforms. Obviously, we're here for Oregon versus UCLA. They're bringing out these eggshell uniforms.
Yes.
That look interesting. Now, Oregon is typically, they have like, I don't know how I feel about this. Our producer said it looks like that they've been pooped on by birds.
Yeah.
But earlier we were talking to Herbie, and he said it looks like a Oreo blizzard.
Yes.
Which I
thought was
like
better.
that was a lot better one.
Yes.
What do you think about them?
I think they're cool, or like, I think they're acceptable because it's Oregon. Like, if UCLA tried to do this, if Alabama tried to do this, if anybody else tried to do that, it's just not cool.
Right.
Like, it's not, there's a point of like, okay, well, this is what you do. Like, this is what you're known for. And I think that's probably the only reason why we're just kind of like, oh, well, yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah. So it's obviously, it's like a white color with like the, let's see who Corso's choosing really fast. Okay, Oregon.
Let's see it.
Everybody's upset about that, of course. Okay. Fans are excited. No. Yeah. No.
There it is.
I feel like he likes to play into the crowd for this. I feel like Corso realized that he should just always choose whatever team is represented in the crowd.
Yeah.
But I do want to go back to Oregon's uniforms really quickly because it's the white color with the dark, I'm assuming green.
Right.
Do you feel like they should have done another color combo?
No, I feel like they kind of got it right. I mean, maybe like a yellow, right? Because then like the specs kind of like blend in a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's less, I guess, noticeable, which wouldn't necessarily make it better, I guess. I don't know. You know, I'm just kind of like, you know, Oregon is like the weird child in the family.
Right.
You just kind of like let them do what they do as long as they're like healthy and cool. Like, you don't really care what they do.
Yeah, they're cool. They used to be like the coolest. I feel like they're like everybody kind of caught up with them, and so they're still pushing the envelope. It's fine. Anyways, we're here for UCLA versus number 10 Oregon. Check this out.
Here's a throw downfield. It's caught this time. Touchdown, UCLA! How did you do that?
They give the quarterback a lot of leadway to kind of make plays and use his ability.
They play at high tempo. They like to run the ball. They're physical.
With DTR, he's a seasoned quarterback. And if the play breaks down, a protection breaks down, he can really, really hurt you. He's made some monster plays.
Sacked by Kayvon Thibodeau. That's why he's the game record.
We got to be aware of where he is. They use him and they move him to multiple places.
Well, Chip Kelly does a great job confusing a lot of defenses, so just being able to play with our eyes and read our keys and kind of use good hands, good eyes, and good feet, we'll be able to stop it.
Many looks, many different packages, and they're really good at all of it. I think they execute at a really high level.
All right, guys, we are now welcomed by Paolo Ugetti, the newest member of ESPN's college football team. Welcome to our show, but also welcome to Game Day. Like, it's lit out here.
No, thank you guys for having me.
USC grad, everybody.
Hey, we're going to keep that quiet. We're not talking about that today. But I was excited to see how many people are out here. It's early, so it's great to see everybody out here.
I mean, are you surprised? These people had to get up at like 2 in the morning to be out here.
Yeah, I did not expect this. I will say, the LA fandom is hit or miss, but here they are, so good for them.
Okay, so we were talking, obviously, we're here for Oregon versus UCLA. Oregon is number 10 in the country right now, and they want to make the case for the college football playoff. The Bruins are going to want to ruin that, even though that would obviously ruin it for the entire Pac-12 conference. However, that's what they want to do today. What do you think that they have to do in order to make that happen?
Well, I think they got to get going on offense a little earlier. As you saw against Cal last week, they struggled until the fourth quarter. Quarterback Anthony Brown ended up pulling off the game-winning rushing touchdown. But before that, they were just slow. And, Coach Mario Cristobal talked about that this week. It seems like every time their backs are against the wall, that's when they respond. So I think they got to get going a little earlier because UCLA is not going to come out soft.
Right.
So we know that Kayvon Thibodeau is one of the best players in the country, right? He's only got 2 sacks on the year, which, probably has some people being like, well, what's the deal, right? How does he still affect that defense in a positive way, even though it's not showing up in the stat sheet?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. He was out for the first half due to the targeting call he received in the last game. Second half game changed completely.
Yep.
I think if Oregon were to somehow be able to clone him and put him at every position, they'd have a better shot of getting into the playoff than they do now, for sure.
All right, let's talk about LSU versus number 12 Ole Miss. We had that bombshell drop on us last week that Coach O would be leaving LSU after they had a really rough start to the season. They've had a few rough seasons after their national championship. How do you feel like LSU is handling that news as they go into this matchup? Like, how do you feel like they're going into this sport?
Well, I'm really curious to see what it looks like on the field. What are they going to play for? They did come out strong against Florida and get a win. But what is that going to look like against a team that's better in Ole Miss? I'm really curious to see how bought in they are to the rest of the season, given where the program is.
Right, exactly.
And, Matt Corral's coming to this one. He's banged up.
Yeah.
Like Lane Kiffin even sounded like it was kind of like stunning to hear a coach be like, yeah, no, he's actually in pretty bad shape. If he is not going to be able to play in this game, do you think that LSU can kind of upset again this week and keep that ball rolling?
He is Ole Miss' best player, and he's on the fringe of the Heisman competition. So I think if he's out, LSU definitely has a shot.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Clemson versus number 3 Mike Parker. Tyler, you don't know this about me, but I went to Clemson for grad school, and the fact that Clemson is unranked is giving me a lot of anxiety.
Miami's unranked too.
Anyway, don't listen to anything that Harry says. I also went to Miami undergrad, but we don't need to talk about the Hurricanes. We're talking about Clemson right now, and they're unranked. Pittsburgh has a great offense. Clemson still has a really good defense, and it's really funny that we're talking about the fact that now Clemson's defense is having to go up against a tough offense. How do you feel like they're going to be able to get it done against Kenny Pickett?
Kenny Pickett. That's all I care about. I just want to watch him. I want to watch him do his thing. I want to watch him go off. That's all I care about. I'm sorry, Clemson. This isn't the year for me.
It's not.
It's on my case.
They're not the same Clemson now. Christine actually mentioned earlier in the show that the ACC is wide open. Who are give me 2 teams that you're really feeling this year?
For sure, Pitt, and then Wake Forest. I mean, who's not going to love that story? They've won every game. They look on fire. I think you can't root against them. So definitely Wake Forest.
I always feel bad for Wake Forest now because they used to be able to lean on basketball, right? Like when the football was not good, and now it's just kind of like, oh, they don't. So to your point, to see Wake Forest winning this year in football, it's like, oh, good for them.
Did you say that you're a USC grad?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, so we got USC versus number 13 Notre Dame, and Drake London, super impressive. What has impressed you the most?
Well, I mean, he's been the only bright spot. I wouldn't say the only bright spot, but he's been the bright spot for USC. I mean, he's just must watch on a team that isn't, and I think that's huge. This Notre Dame game is probably his biggest stage left, besides maybe the UCLA, UC game down the line. But I think it's going to be fun to watch him in this kind of tough environment. They're having to go on the road and play Notre Dame, and I'm curious to see what USC quarterback plays. Jackson Dart is still out, but Kadon Service is the guy who's been playing. But he's been banged up, so I'm just curious to see how much they get out of Drake London via the quarterbacks.
Now, you know USC just as good as anybody. You covered the team, graduated from there.
How we doing out there?
A non-game question. Future head coach. What should they be looking for in order to get this thing back on the tracks? Because obviously it just has not been what it should be. I think one of the most revealing things about the USC program the last few years was when Clay Helton got fired, everybody was joking but was actually serious. Like, we didn't know what that guy looked like because he wasn't very forward-facing. Who do you think that they should be looking for in a coach?
Well, I'll tell you this. Ever since Pete Carroll left the program, every USC hire has been a former assistant coach. So I think they have a really good shot right now to go outside of USC and hire somebody fresh, hire somebody new. I mean, Luke Fickell makes a lot of sense because he has ties to the AD, Mike Bohn, but it's going to be interesting to see where they go. I think it's about time for them to make a fresh hire that's outside the box.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Paolo, for joining us. You said outside the box. We met with a guy named Obi Eboh, who is an outside of the box football player. Check this out. Christine Williamson here with grad transfer Obi Eboh. That's how you guys know him, but his real name is actually
Obinna Chiemeka Eboh.
How about Obi Eboh? The former Cardinal makes the play.
You're at UCLA. What made you want to come here?
There were a lot of things that made sense for me. I think geographically, my connections were obviously at Stanford. Also familiarity with the Pac-12. I played against these guys for 4 years and I feel like it would make the most sense for me to kind of see them and stick around.
You are in a master's program here, so explain to everybody what you're studying right now.
I'm in the Master of Legal Studies here in the UCLA School of Law, but I've always been interested in private equity, and that's kind of like what I've been working towards. So I just want to be important. I want to be able to be special to someone, and my parents aren't from here, right? So they're from Jamaica and Nigeria,
right.
And I don't have a lot of staying here in America. We don't have a lot of immediate family here.
Right.
So I feel like largely it's a lot of my responsibility to kind of build that foundation here in America. So it's on me to kind of build that generational wealth.
What makes this program special?
I think there's a lot of special people here. I think Coach Kelly has finally brought in the people that he's really wanted. It's a beautiful place. It just has a combination of everything that I've ever wanted. So again, I'm very blessed to be in this opportunity.
3, 2, 1.
All right, coming up on game day later today, starting at 9:30 a.m., Oregon head coach Mario Cristobal joins the show ahead of their game later today, right here at UCLA. Then at 10:20 a.m., our girl, Jen Latta, has a story on Wake Forest's Sam Hartman and how he carries on the memory of his brother into every single game. Then at 10:30 a.m., Gene Wojciechowski has a story on potential #1 pick Kayvon Thibodeau and the moves he's making on and off the field. Then at 10:50 a.m., Marty Smith will have a report on Coach O stepping down, and the guys will break down what and who is next at LSU.
Mel Tucker.
All right. What'd you say?
Mel Tucker.
We are now joined. We're always working in tandem with one another. Yeah. Rob Marciano from Good Morning America. Good to see you. I mean, we see you every week, like I said, and you're here every single week. Obviously, the game day atmosphere is insane.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's crazy that all these people are out here. It's 5 in the morning right now. It's almost 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And so, what impresses you the most about the game day atmosphere?
Well, that for one thing.
Right.
These kids on the West Coast, I think maybe game day comes out here once, maybe twice a year. I mean, it's a tough go for the kids.
Right.
That helps when you got a DJ, right? It's always impressive to see the kids filter in. I mean, this is just, I've been in this business over 25 years, and I tell my friends, I try to bring them here when I can, because this is like nothing on television.
Right.
Behind the scenes, it is a rock concert that travels week to week, and it's amazing to see everybody behind the camera, in front of the camera, work it. I love it. I love the environment.
So one thing that we like to talk about is what our favorite school and atmosphere has been so far. Like I said, you've been here almost every week. What has been your favorite place to go so far?
I love LSU. I spent some time in Louisiana. My heart's in Louisiana, and the South Louisiana people just have it. And I think because you always have that first time.
Yep.
And my first big time football game that I attended with the tailgating the whole way was there in Death Valley. So that kind of sticks with you.
Okay, so how do you feel about LSU football this season? Coach O is gone, right? They just had some huge news come out of LSU. So how do you feel about the Tigers this season?
Well, there's been a lot of news that's come out of LSU, and that's instigated some signs for sure. I love the Coach Orgeron signs that'll be coming out here. We'll see what happens with them. Look, you can't be a national champion every year, I guess, unless you're Nick Saban.
Yeah.
So LSU will come back. They always kind of go in cycles, and it's a party time. That's what it's all about. So, you're not going to be a national champion every year.
Yeah.
What are your favorite places to go to?
Honestly, I think crowd-wise, the best crowd we had was in Ames. That was fun. Penn State was great, too, though. Can't beat the atmosphere. It's just, all the old buildings. It's just a really good-looking place. Everybody was fun. That was my personal favorite this year.
Yeah, I think Ames is probably one of my favorite. I learned a lot about corn in Ames, which I'm not sure if you know the difference between street corn and field corn, but there's a huge difference between the two. So, yeah, I felt really good about my Iowa experience, my Iowa State experience.
You like corn belt?
Yes. Is that what it's called, the corn belt?
You know the corn sweats, right? That's why it's one of the reasons it's kind of humid. It can be more humid there because the corn actually will sweat, create more humidity there. That's the weather tidbit I'm giving you guys a taste.
I didn't even know that much. I learned a little bit about corn, and I learned even more today. Okay, so we want to talk about some of the top things that we've we've seen during the college football season, because a lot of crazy things have happened this year. And so we have 10 of the top things, starting with, I don't know if you saw this, the Purdue cheerleader that belly flopped and a puddle of rain. That was week 5. She absolutely stole the show. Like, could you... First of all, let's just all keep in mind this is on concrete.
Someone can get hurt. That's not much.
Yeah, that's not great.
Right.
Not great. Would not recommend.
I mean, I don't know how deep that puddle was. You can see their feet aren't that deep, but I don't know. She was feeling it. All right, number 9, Ole Miss flexes on and strolls Arkansas. So the Rebels hand the Razorbacks their second straight loss in a heartbreaking fashion. They scored a touchdown and then left the game with 1 second left in the game, but instead of going for the tie, they go for the win with a 2-point conversion that is no good.
I like that there was no decision to be made.
But this was the best part. Did Arkansas lose.com?
Oh, that's a snap.
I feel like social media has been...
So here's the thing. I have a very strong opinion about this. I love this. I love when teams, because it kind of started last year when everybody was like taking swings at Nebraska. Love that every team is kind of like taking their swings week by week.
Right.
There is going to be one that goes very, very wrong. That is going to scare everybody into not doing it anymore. I'm excited to see what that's going to be.
And then these people, they're their social media people. Like, it's like, it's like kind of bottom of the totem pole. Like, if you make a mistake, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Okay, number 8, Rutgers versus Northwestern. This is last week, and someone please tell me where he went. Where did he go?
Hey,
Their head coach just fell down. Wait, hold on, no, look. What happened?
No, you can actually. He just kept going.
But like, what? Where did he go?
I mean,
he's not a tall man.
He just fell into. That's so weird. Okay, number 7. Down 56-0 to Georgia in the 4th. UAB's Keandre Spooks houses a long pick 6, and then he thinks it's a good idea to break out the team's dragon turnover skull.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm over. Listen, I don't think we've talked about this on this show. I'm over the turnover gifts. If it's not University of Miami, I'm a University of Miami alum. They started it. What is this? Like, what is this?
I have no idea what that is. I mean, all I know is that you're a hurricane. That makes me like.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I love that.
We need to have an unwritten rule about just like, okay, don't bring it out.
It's doing too much.
If you're getting waxed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you can't. 56-0 is not good. Okay, Georgia Southern, Gavin Adolph, who's certified badass, slams a brew on top of a moving bus, but then he was suspended indefinitely.
That's pretty good.
He's suspended.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, he got in trouble for that with the school. The Georgia Southern folks need to be a little bit more self-aware. That is like kind of just what goes on at that place, which is not a bad thing.
I mean,
it is college football, so you got to be a little loose at times.
Can we talk about his core strength? I mean, obviously he's a football player, but like he's on a moving bus. Like,
hey,
that's pretty intense.
Along the lines of a skilled player than a linebacker.
Okay, let's talk about Will Levis, because we already know the guy is crazy. He ate a banana with a peel on.
Yeah.
And he also likes mayo in his coffee. Mayo in his coffee. Would you ever?
Mayo in his what?
In his coffee.
Well, I mean, if you can't find cream, I guess it's white.
Hey, brother. No, you need to cut that out. No, walk that back.
Lang decided to try it. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was good.
Yeah, I've asked a couple of the other older guys about this. Do you have a favorite saying that Saban has, one of his little coaching, quips he has?
Not that I can think of right now because he has so many, but there are a few I like, and he always talking about touch D's or suck on D's or all that.
Charlie.
I can't.
Did you know that Nick Saban said D's? I don't know.
Whole D's or.
Okay, so more mayo. We should have done
Right,
this
it's
on our last one.
disgusting.
This is absolutely disgusting. I don't know. Would you ever do this? I mean, you said you wouldn't like mayo in your coffee. Would
Yeah,
you
that's
like
not,
mayo as
that's not it.
I don't know. What is this, lotion? Taking a bath? It's disgusting. Okay, so number 2, week 5, Auburn versus LSU. Bo Nix, the play for the ages. He rolls out one way, comes back to the other, slips and slides around defenders, and then he somehow fires a touchdown.
Yeah. You know, for every 99 bad Bo Nix plays, there's one good one, baby.
Well, he did against my Tigers. I'm not happy about that.
Hey, man. Bo Nix out here doing things. He can do things. You know, sorry. Okay, number 1.
What's number 1?
Week 6, Alabama versus Texas A&M. Seth Smalls, game-winning field goal on the final play. Lifts the Aggies to a 41-38 victory over the number 1 Crimson Tide, sending Smalls' family into tears of joy.
Good morning, everybody.
That's why we love college football.
It's emotional.
That's why we love college football so much.
No greater.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
I'm running to Austin to catch a Formula 1 on ABC. You know, it's on ESPN.
There you go.
The U.S. Grand Prix is in Austin tomorrow, so be sure to tune in.
So you're flying out there right after
I got to do a ride along yesterday. I'm going back to the broadcast from there tomorrow. So I watch it every week on ESPN. This week it's on ABC.
Oh my gosh!
There we go.
Awesome! So awesome!
Yes.
Good seeing you. I'm glad we taught you something. You taught us something, and I know next time we'll bring you some coffee mayo.
Yeah, with mayo.
Mayo coffee. Mayo coffee. Guys, I love it. Bye. Okay, so Harry. I'm sorry that we have to do this at the end of the show. But I know you know that you still have 0 points on our upsetting pick. So let's take a quick look at our standings. Harry Douglas is winning with 23 points. Fitz has 17.5 points. I have 11 points. I was the lone winner last week, and Harry Lyles is still has 0. You chose Miami over UNC, which. Wait, did you choose?
No,
that was
better
Harry
than
Douglas.
that.
Okay, Kansas State over Iowa. That was you. Okay, so let's see who our guys have as their picks this week.
All right, guys, for my upset pick, Oklahoma State going to beat Iowa State. I'll take the 7 points. I'll fly up the boards. Harry Douglas, what do you got?
It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. That time for me to pick my upset pick of the week. And I'm going to have to go with the USC Trojans over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Why? Because of a wide receiver named Drake London. He can catch the football. He can do it all. So, Mawson, show me what you got, Mr. London.
All right, so I feel like this is an obvious one for me. I know that last week Harry Douglas had Miami over UNC, and I love that he chose that, even though it didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
I'm choosing this week to have Clemson over Pitt because, like I said, Brent Venables is still in Clemson, South Carolina. We don't know what the offense is doing, but the defense is still holding it down. So I'm going to take Clemson over Pitt. I feel like if they have 3 losses this season, I might physically die. So let's just hope that this happens. I might not be here next week.
For those of you watching at home on your iPhone, tablet, or PC, you might have noticed Christine really just kind of wants to pick the teams that she got diplomas from, or degrees from, excuse me.
This is the first time I did that.
Anyway, I am going with Purdue over Wisconsin. At the top of the show last week, I basically called Purdue over Iowa. Did not pick it. I'm going with Purdue this week because Wisconsin is not very good. Quarterback's not very good. I'm going with Purdue.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Harry likes to choose teams that don't end up working out. So let's just pray that Harry gets at least 1 point. How many points is it? Okay, let's hope that Harry gets 3.5 points today. Really fast before we go, didn't you want to talk about one of the signs that was here?
Where's my sign down here? It was that. Oh, we can't get to it because the cheerleader's in the way. Hold on, I'm gonna grab it. Come here, give me that sign.
1 second. He's really excited about this sign.
Give me that sign. Give me that sign. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
We got 30 seconds.
This one right here. That's pretty good. We like that.
I didn't even see that earlier.
Yeah, we like that one. That's a pretty good
amazing.
one.
Okay, we got
down here.
UCLA versus number 10 Oregon. That game is today, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. However, right now, if you're watching on your tablet or on your phone or whatever, go on and sign in, authenticate, because game day is starting in about 2 minutes, and you're not going to want to miss it. Let's just pray Harry comes with 3.5 points next week.